November 4th, 2016, Benedict Cumberbatch becomes Doctor Strange in Marvel's latest installment. I'm Dalton Gentry.
I'm Adrian Fort.
I'm Matt Wright.
And I'm Josh Adamek.
And we like to call ourselves the Aristocrats. The Breakdown, November 4th, 2016. Very recent release here. One of the most recent that we've done. This was directed by Scott Derrickson.
Considering the other three have been from 99 and the 70s.
In the 70s. Well, we don't have that huge of a library right now, but this is our new release of the month so far.
Yes.
Based on Doctor Strange by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, the man who gets no credit for anything he's ever done. This stars Benedict Cumberbatch, Rachel McAdams, Benedict Wong. Oh, please tell me I'm saying this right. Is this
Chiwetel Ejiofor?
Thank you. Michael Stolberg, Benjamin Bratt, Scott Atkins, Mads Mikkelsen, and Tilda Swinton.
Love me some Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Le Chiffre.
Shall we start with this?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me best scenes.
The best scene for me was the wreck scene. It was the first and last time that we saw Benefit Lumberjack actually present some type of character. What's wrong, Matt? Am I saying another name?
Benefit Lumberjack?
Benefit Lumberjack. Is that not his name?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Okay. This is the first and last time that we see Benefit Lumberjack actually perform the role of being Stephen Strange. He is incredibly flat through this entire movie, and it almost became unwatchable because of it.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the best scene is the last moments that he has with the Ancient One right before she dies. That's a very good scene where it kind of opens up and shows you her humanity a little bit, because you see the lightning very slowly streak across the sky, and she talks about how she has peered into the future for hundreds of years, yet she can never see past this moment, yet she is still trying to drag it out for as much as it is, because life is that precious.
It seems a good comment.
Yeah.
It's good, but it seems a bit preachy to me. Josh?
It's fair. Mine is actually the scene right after Benedict Cumberbatch's accident, where he mutilates his hands. It's that sort of montage of where he's basically getting multiple surgeries, recovering, and losing himself, trying to recover and trying to be who he thinks he really should be. Just all of that, just all the pain he feels, and going into basically finding himself as Doctor Strange.
Okay.
It feels a bit
That's
like
mine.
It feels a bit like emasculation, does it not?
I mean,
This
yes.
is how he's defined himself.
Yeah.
The astral projection fight scene
Yeah.
is something fresh, it is something new, and entertaining as all hell. And I think it has to have a moment in the sun, therefore that is my best scene for the week here. But there were some worse scenes in this. Adrian?
For me, the worst scene in this movie is not a scene, but a moment. There is a moment where Caecilius is chasing Doctor Strange through the Sanctum Sanctorums, right? And I believe they're in the New York Sanctum Sanctorum, where there are all of these magical objects, right, that have been endowed with power.
Yes.
Doctor Strange, during their melee, grabs one of them, holds it up, and there's this weird little scene, this weird little pause, where you know it is supposed to be a pregnant silence, but it's just awkward. So Disney had to go back in and put some music in. And what happens is, at the end of this, Caecilius says, "You don't know how to use that, do you?" And Doctor Strange tries to hit him with it. But that little pause was not a pregnant silence, and it was not an awkward pause on purpose. You can tell that scene worked so badly for their test audiences that they had to endow it with a music overscore, that they had to go through and they had to redo things because Benefit Lumberjack is so flat in his presentation for this movie.
I disagree 100%. That was good comedic timing. Benedict Cumberbatch is one of the best actors going in this world today. I say the entire worst scene in the film is every scene that involves Rachel McAdams, simply because it is completely unnecessary. You remove her from the film, and it's still the same movie. Nothing changes.
You remove her from that film, you put her on this set, she has the strongest jaw. That's why we all have to have beards.
It's true.
Josh?
I agree completely with Matt on this one. Rachel McAdams completely useless in this movie. She's supposed to be the love interest. She's there. She's attractive.
And
that's about all there is to
Yeah,
her.
and she's used to show like what an asshole he is. Like, yeah, we get it, but yeah.
What is the temple called in Kathmandu? Where they're first going?
That temple.
Well, it's Karmesh or something like that.
Karamesh, something like that.
Yeah, I believe
It's
it's-
Kargamesh. We're going to say Kargamesh because I've only seen this film once and I didn't really care for Doctor Strange's comic book, so I haven't read a lot of it. So Kargamesh, we'll call it that. The Arrival in Kathmandu, where Benedict Cumberbatch,
Benefit Lumberjack,
channels Nicolas Cage and looks over at a man who is a Hindu man in prayer and he says, "Isn't that a little more Kathmandu-y?" is by far the worst scene ever. At that point, I'm done with this. I am absolutely done with this movie.
So can you agree
I'll
with
give
me
you
that
that.
Benefit was shit in this movie?
Once that cape, the cape of levitation, the robe of levitation, whatever you want to call it, hits him, and he rises up as Doctor Strange for the first time, he does a damn good job from that point forward. But channeling Nicolas Cage to ruin my origin story was the worst performance I have seen in a long time. That was painfully bad.
Yes.
Let's talk about performances, though. Who is the Oscar going to, Adrian? Who is the best performance of this?
Benefit Lumberjack sucks the entire movie. Rachel McAdams does what she is supposed to do. You can't give her any awards for that because she was written as a worthless character. But I don't think that you can also... I don't think that you can take away from her performance because of that. The Ancient One is the Ancient One. Tilda Swinton is Tilda Swinton. They are one and the same. But Chiwetel Ejiofor is so damn good that at times he seems out of place, struggling to create a scene next to Benefit Lumberjack.
I both agree and completely disagree all at the same time. That is good. I will say yes, the Best Performance Award does go to Chiwetel Ejiofor, simply because he is a dominant actor. I love the man. 12 Years a Slave, a great film, and he is a standout. However, Benedict Cumberbatch absolutely nails the character that is put before him in this movie as what it is written. He nails every aspect of it. Rachel McAdams, you're there.
It's true. She
Mads
existed.
Mikkelsen. Love me some Mads Mikkelsen. Le Chief. From, the old James Bond movie. Love that man. Good for him getting some work.
Let's be honest. He didn't have a character.
The Cuba Gooding Jr. of the Marvel Universe.
He did. Now,
Josh?
I was torn because I actually wrote down here both Benedict Cumberbatch and I'm not going to try and pronounce his name.
Chiwetel Ejiofor. Ejiofor. Yeah.
Yes, because both do an amazing job, in my opinion. Benedict Cumberbatch is the epitome of. I mean, he's been a dragon. He's been Sherlock Holmes. He has been everything, and he always does amazing performances. He's cheeky. He's egotistical. He also comes back and redeems his humanity. Puts the greater good ahead of what he really wants as a character. Both of which, I got to give it to Benedict Cumberbatch.
Okay.
I love his portrayal.
I have to interject.
One role that Benefit Lumberjack has not pulled off is Doctor Strange.
Here is one thing.
Never been Doctor Strange.
Benedict Cumberbatch is just as good at being Benedict Cumberbatch as Michael Cera is being Michael Cera. He's the same person in every movie.
No. Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Now, there is one character who no one has mentioned the Oscar for, who deserves it more than anyone else, and that is Tilda Swinton.
I
as the
mentioned
Ancient
her.
One. And do you know why that is?
Her role is racist.
She had no greater challenge
Oh, okay.
to nail that role. Because if anything went wrong with that role, Tilda Swinton doesn't work anymore.
Tilda Swinton is hell-bent on looking unattractive in every single movie
Yes, she
she's
is.
in.
And if she does not nail that role, it's good. She does a very great job as the Ancient One.
Oh, she's a great actor.
And there was a lot of negativity around the casting of her as the Ancient One. So I think it was necessary that she does perform best in this because her career depended on it.
Now, she does a great job. I won't deny that. But I still feel like Benedict Cumberbatch has it.
Chiwetel Ejiofor won the best performance in this movie with his eyes alone. I won't even go into his delivery. I won't go into the fact that he is written sort of as a stock character and transcended that. I won't go into the fact that he actually outperforms the role that was written on the page. His eyes alone sell this movie.
Okay.
There's true conviction there.
Yes.
The man's a great actor.
You can tell that he's above the character being a bit crazy. You believe that Ejiofor is a bit crazy. Do you not?
I believe that he is fully 100% invested in his character, and he is one of the best actors we have today.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly.
If he looked in your eyes the way that Mordo does in this film,
that's it.
You wouldn't mess with him.
He is a dream partner to play off of in a scene.
And
True, but he is a partner.
And benefit
He
somehow.
is that person.
Benefit
He is
somehow
the
ruins that.
secondary.
He is the secondary. And here's the thing here. You keep saying eyes, and all I can think of is Face Off 2 with Benedict Cumberbatch and Nicolas Cage. That's all I've got going for me right now, so I've ruined myself. I would like to make an argument. I enjoyed this movie. I did. As overall, as a film, I enjoyed it. I think had this movie came out before Deadpool, I would have enjoyed it more. I think Deadpool is a hard act to follow.
It is.
And in the Marvel Universe, this puts up a good fight, but it is hard to follow something that was just as perfect as Deadpool.
Deadpool is probably a top 3 superhero movie released in the last 20 years. Like I don't know that we forged new ground in this review by mentioning Deadpool.
Now, if we want to mix Marvel and DC and talk superhero movies, had this movie come out after The Green Lantern, I would say, oh, what a breath of fresh air this was, because Green Lantern was a garbage.
That's true.
It was a garbage. I can't even
flaming
English.
garbage.
I can't English.
Well, here's the thing.
Flaming hot, fiery garbage.
If we're going to compare this movie to other superhero movies, I think that it bears mentioning that this protagonist defeated Dormammu completely upon his own intelligence.
Okay.
It's true.
Can we also point out that Benedict Cumberbatch did also play Doctor Strange and Dormammu at the same time?
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
I did not know that.
He was the
I
voice of
unaware of
Dormammu as well.
Better voice actor than he is an actual actor.
That is trash.
Oh, he is a fine voice actor, though.
Oh, no, he's a wonderful voice actor. I definitely reference Smaug.
Have you seen the clip of him
Oh,
performing as the voice actor Smaug? Like, he gets into it.
Really? It's
It's terrifying. It's
Oh, yeah, that dude is in.
I will say I'll put a link to that below, but I won't remember it. So.
I'm also going to tell you,
probably not gonna
Imitation
happen.
Game. That dude, after the Imitation Game, he is wonderful in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
In a lesser year, he wins the Academy Award.
You think so?
I do. He was in a tough year.
He was in that film Knowing. Do you remember that one as well, where he was Nicolas Cage and the movie was just fucking garbage? Because that movie is ruined at that point. When Benedict Cumberbatch becomes Nicolas Cage, I have no respect for him at that point forward.
What the fuck are you talking about?
First off, the movie Knowing, it's... we don't need to talk about this.
We're here for Doctor Strange.
Let me sit down and explain this. When Benedict Cumberbatch is given the character of Stephen Strange, he fails.
I believe
Once he puts on the cape and becomes Doctor Strange, he can pull it off. But he fails so miserably at being Stephen Strange that it is painful to watch. Nicolas Cage argument.
I don't know what you're saying. Here's what I'm going to bring up. There was a lot of a resentment when Benedict Cumberbatch, Benefit Lumberjack, whatever you want to call him, was cast because everyone thought, oh, a white guy with a goatee who's super intelligent, very sarcastic, has played that one role. I can't remember what it is. Where he's the what is it? He was the
You mean Sherlock?
Sherlock. Played Sherlock.
Yeah.
How are you going to fit him and Robert Downey Jr. in the same universe? Here's how you do it. Benefit Lumberjack sucks. Robert Downey Jr. does not. It will work.
Okay, now can we talk about...
Okay, so here. You have been the biggest defender of
Yes.
Benefit Lumberjack since we started.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
What was it?
No, I'm not doing
Okay.
it. No.
I believe it's Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Put him neck and neck with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Rate their performances. Who gives a better performance?
First off, you have a far greater body of work for Robert Downey Jr. He's pulling in 5 movies.
As Iron Man and as Doctor
True.
Strange.
Yeah.
Okay, so who does Angry better? Robert Downey Jr. or Benefit Lumberjack?
Who does Angry?
Angry.
Well, Robert Downey Jr. has been afforded scenes to be angry. Stephen Strange has really not.
I'm not saying Stephen Strange. I'm saying.
Oh, you're saying
Lumberjack.
Benedict? Oh, you mean just
Entire
Actor
canon.
v.
just
actor.
in his theme?
Entire canon.
Well, then I got to go with Benedict Cumberbatch simply because I referenced Star Trek Into Darkness where he played Khan because he was haunting.
That was
he
a
was
brilliant
wonderful in
performance.
that movie. Yeah, exactly.
He was amazing as Khan. You can't deny that.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
that's
moment
fine.
where he reveals that his name is Khan is a...
Let's be honest.
Wonderful.
We all knew
Yeah.
it was Khan.
Like,
But-
I'm not even a Star Trek fan, and I got
Gave you
chills. Oh, yeah, when he said that.
I think Robert Downey Jr. does angry almost as well as anyone in the business.
It's hard for him not to come off as sarcastic.
It is, but when you look in his eye, for me, acting comes down a lot to eyes. Chiwetel Ejiofor in this movie is very intense. Robert Downey Jr. gets the teary eyes as fast as anyone, right?
Yes, he does, yes.
Snap of a fingers, he's got angry, teary eyes. So, who does tortured genius better? Robert Downey Jr. or Benefit Lumberjack?
I hate that name. Tortured Genius.
Tortured Genius.
I would say in that regard, then yeah, I'll give it to Robert Downey Jr. simply because he's had more opportunities to play the Tortured Genius. Because he's been Tony Stark for 5 movies and he's a tortured genius in all 5 of them.
He was also Chaplin, right? I mean, that's a tortured genius.
Oh, you want to go back to Chaplin?
Yeah, I'm talking everything.
I mean, that movie-
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Oh, don't.
How tortured was he in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang?
Robert
That
Downey.
movie.
Am I wrong, though?
Not like, okay, we got to stop the show.
Okay,
Kiss,
so-
Kiss Gang. Kiss. I almost said
Kiss Gangbang. That's a different film entirely.
Our next review.
I believe it starred Bridget the Midget.
Okay. Despite the argument of who is best, apples to oranges here, let's talk about the ending scenes, the pop at the end in the trailer. Not the trailer, the credits, excuse me. Because that's the big thing in the Marvel Universe, is we get that teaser in the trailer. How do we feel about the 2 teasers in this film?
I thought that both of these were subpar. Nothing really gave us anything to actually work with. Nothing actually broke ground on anything. They were there as fan service. At this point, it feels like Marvel is doing these things because fuck. We said we'd do after the
We got to put something there.
We got to
It's
put
true.
something in.
Okay.
I
agree.
think I actually, once again, I'm going to disagree because I feel like these were definitely way above average post-credits trailers simply because in the first one, you got Doctor Strange setting up to be in Thor Ragnarok as a side character, which equates to the fact that not only is this movie already setting up to be a buddy film between Thor and the Hulk, but you're also going to add in Doctor Strange, where I think that's a recipe for success. Secondly, the second scene where you have Chiwetel Ejiofor setting himself up as the main Doctor Strange villain in Mordo right there because he takes away a man's ability to walk because he decides there's too many sorcerers in the world.
But we also know that Marvel pisses away villains.
You are going to
Here's
tell
hoping.
me that
Yeah.
this film, those 2, let's combine them, had more impact than Guardians of the Galaxy dropping Howard the Duck and / or Bernie Sanders 2, the sequel. Bernie Sanders and Howard the Duck are identical. You tell me that
Just
has more
Timberlake, by
impact?
the way.
I mean, yeah.
Or
because
the-
Howard the Duck ain't coming back.
What about the original, which was Iron Man with Nick Fury showing up?
Oh, that was
Yeah,
huge.
no.
Born-
I mean,
You can't
that
top
one's.
that.
I mean, you can't top that simply
Right.
because that is literally the progenitor of
Yeah.
everything to come.
But my argument is that above average doesn't really mean much with these because so many of them have been throwaway. I think that
The
at this
Howard
point,
the Duck was throwaway. I mean, it was
But it
funny,
was nice. It was good fan
service.
It was.
But that was Guardians of the Galaxy. That was their fun-loving...
It was supposed to be
you know,
humor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's supposed to be that.
Okay.
That being said, let's be honest. The sort of precursor to the new films, they let us down.
Here's the thing here. With this, in my opinion, you had an opportunity to go somewhere with this. One of the final lines, when we're talking about the green light thing, I don't care what it's called, he says, oh, well, it's an infinity stone.
Yeah.
That gives you the big, we are going Infinity Gauntlet. We are going
Yes.
Infinity Wars. And where do we go with this? Nowhere. Very disappointing.
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean at the end of the movie with the post-credits scene to
Yes.
tie up into that? Okay, I see
Yes.
what you mean with that. That's a fair point.
So we are going to get to a recommendation
No,
for
hold on.
this.
I've got one last talking point because everyone here seemed much more in favor of this movie than I think I was. This movie stood to benefit more from ambiance than any of the movies so far in the Marvel Universe. Am I wrong?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
I get
So
that.
why was it shot in so much light? Now, we want to give the DC movies so much shit because they were shot so dark.
No. I don't give them shit. I love that about them. I
But-
love the fact that they take more of a dark angle.
Does this or does this not feel more like a television show than a movie? Because everything is so visible. Nothing is creeping and crawling in the background.
No, it feels
even,
like that.
Even
Marvel,
the dark realm.
It feels like that Marvel style, where everything's colorful and light and whatnot.
But
and
Guardians
they're really casual with mass murder.
Yeah, but Guardians of the Galaxy has much more setting than this, does it not? Despite the fact that this takes place in places which are just as foreign to you, Kathmandu, as an entirely different universe. Right? But nothing is ever hidden. Nothing is ever dark. Everything is very light. And I don't mean light as in funny. I mean light as in it's lit.
It's bright.
Impeccably.
Yes, it's bright.
Right?
I see all
There's no grit.
Yes. And even though they watered down and muted the colors, everything is brown or tan or beige or green, right? Everyone's wearing these very earthy colors, but nothing's ever dark.
Fair enough.
Even you go off into what is called the dark universe.
And it's all
Not
bright.
a color.
It's all bright and purple.
Bright
Yeah.
and purple and everything.
Yeah.
Fair
So,
enough.
I think that is a place where this movie stood to have added a bit of darkness, a bit of murk, if you will.
Okay.
And it could have not only gotten away with it, but profited from it.
All right. Now, we will be back shortly with a recommendation and some ratings for this film here, so make sure you stick around. We'll be back after this. Okay. All right. We have just watched Doctor Strange. We have varying opinions on this. Adrian, start us off. What would you recommend?
What would I recommend? Harry Potter. If you like the magic, if you like the fact that someone's main weapon is choosing them, if you like things like this, that there's no real reason for anything that happens in Doctor Strange. It just kind of happens.
I've grown on you. You're welcome.
No, you haven't grown on me.
You're welcome.
And you can move your leg. I don't want you touching me under the table.
Right.
In terms of what I'm going to do, I'm going to say all the other Marvel dribble that's out there.
In terms of what I'm going to do, I'm going to
You
tell
got
you.
very New York there for a second.
Yeah,
He's
that's
angry.
True. Yeah, okay, sure. There's like 8 me's in one body, so accept that. All the other Marvel dribble that's out there, I swear to God, if we would have done Captain America Civil War, I would have eviscerated that dumpster fire. I mean, it had some good moments, but nah. Okay. All the movies are the same. However, if you want to get kind of with it, then yeah, I will actually follow suit with you. And I'm going to say Harry Potter, the Prisoner of Azkaban, simply because I love Alfonso Cuarón, and it's Harry Potter, man, that magical crap.
Yeah, if you're going the magic route, you got to go Harry Potter, right?
Yeah, you really do.
Sell us with some magic.
Iron Man. That was the one that I always thought. Whenever I watched this, the original Iron Man, I'm a man for origin stories. I love a good origin story, especially when it comes to Marvel. Anything superhero, and Iron Man is... I mean, that's Doctor Strange. That is basically the same feel of it. It's got the egotistical, it's got the comedic sense that we didn't really address, but just comedy left and right, as well as that satirical sense to it. It's got everything.
So, does the fact that Benefit Lumberjack is Discount Robert Downey Jr. ruin it for you, or does it make it better?
You know what?
I want an honest answer.
Honestly, makes it better.
Really?
It
The
does.
fact that you've seen this before by someone who is 10 times better at it.
You know what? It's different. It's a different sense of it. I love Robert Downey Jr.'s version of Iron Man. Love the Doctor Strange. I feel like both go hand in hand.
Now, here's something I want to bring up, because it's something that struck me very hard. Iron Man was sort of this movie where we get together and we say, all right, you know what? The good guy gets to fuck things up. This movie was sort of a return to, okay, the hero has to struggle.
Okay.
Right? Doesn't get to go out and blow things up. Iron Man showed up, threw a couple missiles out, blew shit up, and won. The ultimate winning here is he has to struggle. And he has to get killed, and killed, and killed, and killed. What felt better for you?
Well, there's also the fact that Iron Man did not have the option to control the entire world if he so chose.
Yeah.
Well, to me, it wasn't that sense. It's kind of the in-between of Iron Man did this all to save himself. Doctor Strange did this to save himself, or what he thought he would, thought he needed to
humanity.
Everybody. Yeah.
But originally, he learned the skills to save himself.
Oh, originally, yes.
He did.
And then,
Doctor Strange, he wasn't the same. He still did not have full use of his hands. He wasn't what he thought he'd be. Iron Man, he kept himself from dying.
Yeah, I will clean this up right now for everyone here. If you miss Doctor Strange, you're not going to miss much this year. If you miss Iron Man, you're not going to miss much this year. If you miss Deadpool, you are going to miss something this year.
Why do you want to bring things like that up?
Because I want to bring things like this up. If you're going to watch a Marvel movie this year, you're going to watch Deadpool. That is it. End of story.
Fox movie.
Rate this for me.
You're going to watch one? Watch Deadpool.
I give this 85 benefits out of 100.
Okay. Matt?
I'm actually going to go 73 on this one because as it comes to, as much as I enjoyed the performances in the movie, the overall quality of the movie is, it's all right. It's average. That's why I gave it just below a 75. I gave it a 73, and I base that on, if anything, this is way higher than I would have normally gave it because this breaks from the traditional Marvel formula, if you will, which has been very Disney-fied, if you will, as of late, where all the movies are very cookie cutter, very the same. This movie actually took a few risks and stepped outside a couple boundaries, and I appreciated that a little bit in my viewing.
You just nullified everything you said this entire
No, I did not.
I do enjoy a movie that opens with a beheading.
Josh, hit us real quick.
All right, to go with what Adrian said earlier, I'll give it 83 lumberjacks. Loved this movie. Visually, it was beautiful. Had amazing special effects. In my opinion, great acting. I mean, from everyone in the story, excluding Rachel McAdams because she was useless. So that's mine.
Okay, so I'm going to sit around and be the one who's hating on this film as well. I gave it 92 benefit Cumberjacks. Was that close? Did I try?
It's all right.
It's 92 because the presentation of this film is better than any presentation we've gotten in a Marvel movie. The Inception-esque graphics, the presentation of Doctor Strange sells this movie, therefore it deserves 92.
Okay.
I'm going to wrap this up right now. If you like this kind of thing, hit the subscribe button down below. We're going to be doing this quite often. And give this video a like as well, regardless of your opinions on Doctor Strange.
We are on Twitter at Aristocrats Show.
And you can find us individually as well. I am at the Dalton.
I'm at Adrian anyway.
I'm at Matt right now.
And I'm at Josh the Meat.
And now I know my heart is a ghost.